more years and I'd be retired if I still had a job.
Yeah. They have a lot more than that.
You're very, even if you cut service, you're still working after.
Yeah, that it is.
I don't burn it also now. I don't burn it. Well, though I've always said I'm carrying on. Sergio tomorrow.
Okay. And then you want me afternoons again? Or just have the callboard call me? Because I won't be available for the afternoons anyway, because of rest time.
Right. So then that you'll probably call back out for the second shift. Okay. Okay. Alrighty.
He has to clear 21st Street. Before they put in that extension, that actually, as soon as he would clear, we were able to get a restricting. But now we have to wait for an approach up on 14. And then. And then as soon as that comes in, that sends the signal out to 14th Street, which lights up, and then he's got an approach. No, I'm sorry, he gets a clear to an approach to a stop at the next one. Now we just wait for the next one. That's all it is. Just in and out, in and out, in and out. Then stop everything. Amtrak freight. Then in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Stop. Amtrak freight. We have windows that they gave us as well, so we don't have to. It takes a lot of the guesswork out. For a while, it was literally just like, "Hey, how long are you? How old's the crew? How much? Hey, is it a good crew? Is it a bad crew? Is it a hogger who likes to take his time and smell the roses, or is it one who basically notchate and sand for as much as they can to get through?"
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys actually came from CN, so I actually personally know a lot of the guys who come through. So it's, I kind of have a little insight on that. I'm like, oh yeah, I know he runs poorly, so I know that I'm going to get my trains out, then I'll run.
Then I'll let him go. Yeah.
Especially if he's got 10,000 feet on 17,000 tons. It's like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. Then once he clears, I'll be able to pull it back out again if we got an inbound. Otherwise, I'd leave it blank so that way I can cycle the machine faster. Because if I pull it and I don't need it, I have to time it out, which can take 5 minutes. That's 5:00. So 6:30. This time of day, we're actually going to go track 1 to track 1. So in order to do that, in order to switch over here, I have a push button set up. So I'm going to switch track number 5 to go from track 1 to track 1. By just pressing this button, it's going to flash. And I can actually see this one close enough. I can actually see out in the field if it's actually cycling. Flash, flash, flash.
Yes.
And then once we get a solid yellow, we know it's lined up.
So,
Ding. And then we can give it the signal. So just like the 55 or the 76 signal, which is red, we just press this one. And then that lights up on 2 weeks. After it sends its signal, and then it comes in. Just like that. Got another one rolling down. That's 625 to 540.
And so what he did, and he said, it's the Metra tractor. I said, okay.
You talking about hunters coming in, right?
16th. Yeah, I'll be good for him. You can bring him. All right. All right. Let me see if I can get that 14. Oh, you went 100, so 611.
514, you ready? Alright, after stopping at my signal display, stop at 18th Street. You have authority to pass that signal. 122, east direction. Let me know when you're stopped at 15th, over.
You said we're going 1 to 2 or 1 to 1?
I'm sorry, 122.
Alright, Metra 514 after stopping at 18th Street, we do authority pass 2 lane stop. We're going to go 1 to 2 in the east direction.
That is correct, 69.
Metra 514, eastbound on 1 Main to the 4-minute check to 4B, 1113, 1113. 514, you copy radio? Got you. 514, pulling charge at 1113, I've mentioned my limits, max speed, being equipment and clear, and we stop the red board at 1.30 over. Metra 514, eastbound on 1 to the 4B, 1113, their max speed, no stop equipment, 1.30. Correct, no BD. Are we okay at the restart within your limits, or would you like me to call you back? Okay, I'm looking at the right now.
Since we're all going to be together, even if not, we could have handed you one of ours if we didn't need it. Okay. All right.
Street, Metra 515, over.
515, stopped here at 14.
Ready to copy it, over.
Yep.
Metra 515, upon arrival and after stopping, signal displaying stop indication at 14 Street. You have authority by 1 O&E, signal displaying stop. Main track tree, G-H-R-E-E, to main track 2, TWO, in a west, W-E-S-T direction, over.
Okay, Measure 515 has your authority past the stop indication here at 14th Street. Main track 3 to main track 2 in the west direction. And as information, the signal keeps going from lit to dark, so it's still okay to take it?
Okay to take it, over.
Okay, and the repeat was correct?
And the repeat was correct, over.
I'm going to give you a jingle at 16.
Copy that. Noise for my boys. All right, ready to copy next one, over?
Yep.
All right, Metra 515, upon arrival, after stopping, signal displaying stop indication at 15 Street. You have authority by 1 O&E, signal displaying stop. Main track 2, TWO, main track 2, TWO, in a west, W-E-S-T direction, over.
Can you repeat that first part of it again? I'm sorry.
Copy that. Metra 515, 515. You have authority by, upon arrival and after stopping, you have authority by 1 O&E, signal displaying stop indication at 15 Street, main track 2, TWO, to main track 2, TWO, in a west, W-E-S-T direction. Over.
Okay, Measure 515 has your authority past the stop indication here at 15th Street. Main track 2, west direction.
That is correct on the repeat, over.
Okay, Roger, thank you.
And more noise for my boys, please.
What was that, over?
Noise for the boys as you go through, please, over.
Okay, Roger.
I hate this. We never normally do this one. Alright, Metra 16th Street, calling the CN 3288-3288. Metra 16th Street gives authority to CN 3288-3288. Upon arrival and after stopping, signal displaying stop indication at 16 Street. You have authority by 1 O&E, signal displaying stop. Metra 16 Street, from Freeport sub to Chicago sub, main to main, in a south SOUTH direction, over.
Hi, I'm glad you're able to see CN 3288 on the stand. Measure Metra 16th Street, after stopping, signal playing stop. Go to pass 1 signal playing stop at 16th Street, 16th Street. Freeport sub Main to Chicago Main, south direction, arrow.
That is correct on the repeat. As you come through, I need a little noise for my boys, please, over.
Correct repeat, and we'll make plenty of noise, arrow.
Plenty of noise, I like it. Here we go. 16th out.
Can you put
Hey, Rock Road at 16th Street. Well, as of right now, it is all yours, buddy. I have a couple answers. Let's see if they match. I don't know, because I was actually talking to Desk 1, and they don't have any bulletins on their end. Do you have their number? Okay. I got it for you when you're ready. Alright, so you're going to call 83... only if we need them, so, okay. Have they done any sort of, like, talking to you guys about how this is going to work? I'm just curious. That's a negative. Well, so what'll happen, I usually will only call them if they don't have a positive lineup at Cermak. So if we have a westbound train that's coming through, I will usually call Lumber Street. And Lumber Street will tell me, okay, we're ready for him, whatever the window time is. And then he'll sometimes say, can you call Desk 1 and see if they're ready at Cermak? And so I'll call desk one and they'll say, hey, I got your train, are you ready for it? Or something along those lines. And he'll say yes or no. If he says no, then we don't move him. Otherwise we're going to block ourselves up. If he says yes, send it. Sure. So yeah, as you're heading at us, the first new signal for you is going to be 14th Street on 3, 2, and 1. Second one will be 15th, and that's going to be on 1 and 2. And for eastbound moves, your first signal is going to be 18th Street, and then 15th Street. That's 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 for both. But you can control access from track 1 to track 1, and track 1 to track 2, or track 1 to track 2. You know, you've got it on your screen. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, it's everything will push through. And I think they got me out here for another night too, just for redundancy's sake. But I'll put together my my big book of knowledge, I guess. Who's chiefing over there right now? Oh, I don't know so. Oh, okay. But yeah, if there's I'm going to be here for the remainder of the night, so if there's any more questions or if you guys need any guidance or talking through, just give me a call. All right, sounds good. All right, bye-bye.